This is the Bottom Line Liberia. Join us on Facebook, YouTube and online radio. This is the Bottom Line Liberia. Join us on Facebook, YouTube and online.
Through trials and tribulations, you have prevailed. The spirit is unbreakable, never derailed. With a rich heritage and culture and grace, Liberia, you are the land we embrace.
You are welcome to the Bottom Line Liberia.
And so let's say welcome to the Bottom Line Liberia. As you already heard, we're happy to be here this beautiful Friday evening. It's the 14th day of February. I almost said it's the 14th day of Valentine's Day. But it's the 14th day of February 2025, meaning that we are moving gradually. Just recently we were celebrating New Year. Now we midway in February. But Paul, let me say welcome to you on this beautiful edition of the Bottom Line Liberia. And for those of you joining us, we like to say welcome. Invite your friends, share the show. But Paul, let me start with you. Today is the 14th of February, and this day around the world, especially in the Christian world, people celebrate this day. They believe that it's a day of love. How is it from your end? How is it celebrated in the UK?
Good evening, Linford, and I will say good evening to our viewers. I will say happy Valentine's Day to the audience. Linford, usually Valentine's Day is just a commercial day for the Westerner to make money. So people celebrate the day by buying gifts, flowers for their partners, spouses, and so this is the day that they actually set aside for businesses to make money. So throughout the year, if you love somebody, you love them. You don't have to wait for a particular day to love that person. So it's just a commercial day for businesses to make money. If you had a florist shop, all the flower people make money today.
Yeah, I believe you because, I just love flowers. So I used to work in a flower shop a long time ago where I was living far away before. And then when I moved to where I am now, I saw the same company there. So I went there and sorry for my light. Check out. So I went there and told them that, oh yeah, I've been working with your other branch on the other side. And they said, okay, but then saying that you can anytime if you want to work, you can come. So I associate with them. I can go there sometimes. Yesterday I was there to buy some items, and then the girl was asking me, "You don't want to work tomorrow?" I said, "No, but tomorrow is it's my normal working day. I go there on the weekend." I said, "But she said because the traffic will be too much tomorrow." I said, "Why?" She said, "Just because it's Valentine's Day." I said, "Oh look," and it's true, Paul. And I don't know our neighbor, our other color people, and people like I said, some people can come to that place and use maybe 1,000 plus on plants, on trees that they went plant. Trees that are not bearing nothing with that. Yeah, some decoration. I say people have tree, but this is it. Like you said, this is time for people to make money. Myself, I want to get two roses today for my family. So especially for my daughter, my newborn daughter. So I want to start her with that love. So I bought roses for her. And, it's good.
So, but Linford, when we were kids back home, when we were growing up, going to school, elementary school, kindergarten, elementary school, junior high school. You ever celebrated that day in Liberia?
Well, I didn't even know that Valentine's Day. I didn't even know there was a day called Valentine's Day.
Exactly. So because we are in one big global village now, wherever the Westerners say, we Africans tend to follow it now and overdo. That's the whole thing. They think it's a big business.
Yeah, you see, all you want to say is just like we just making excuse. Yeah, but you see,
this is how this.
Yeah, but Paul, I think brought us something. There are certain holidays that people honor in the Western world so much, but I didn't know about them. Like Valentine's Day. Then I didn't know about also Yeah, they used to have Mother's Day, but Father's Day, but we were born, we were babies, we were little kids. So when you know for Father's Day and
Yeah,
Mother's Day, maybe this the woman that just will go we eat, you know.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we want to say a big Valentine's Day love out there to all of you, beautiful women, our mothers, and we owe it to you because especially with the men, they say behind every successful man there's a successful man or a good woman. So we owe it to you, and the fact that you give us life. The other day I sat down, Paul, and I was just thinking sometimes the crazy things run into my mind, right? I sat down, then I started mistakenly. I opened some kind of web page where they had the world population. It can pop up, billions, and it kept up and down flipping. So I asked myself, well, how do these people know? But it's actual because they got advanced country, not to my country like Liberia, advanced country, they got the population, data. So it can be fluctuating from different countries. It's just like that. And then I could see that some countries, like America, they got billions of citizens, India, and all these things. Then I asked myself, all these people, they are born by women. Can you imagine? Everybody is born by women. Women born by women, men born by women. Women born, everybody. So I said, what? So, we need to respect women. We need to give them that love they deserve. At least, like you said, if you love somebody, you can love them through all the 365, 66 days in the year. But I think that particular day, since everybody is looking forward to it to show some degree of love, I think we need to do it. So we'll not find that excuse. I don't know what you think. Then we can flow onto our other things. We are muted, Paul.
Yeah, and yeah, Linfo, you are absolutely right. And you see, you places like China and India, you have the population is unbelievable. The what we call the number is like the people in billion. We talking about we still struggling because we haven't had a good sensor in Liberia to know the total number of people that we have, and we don't even have the database that every now and then when a child is born, because in the UK here, the data sensor was in the 60s, but then they have the database with the child that is born today, they automatically into the system. When when immigrants come into the country, they also put them into the system. So they're able to tell you, say, look, we have 68 million people on the island. And then they would do a prediction, say if there's 68 million people, they would say how many females and males. If 1 to 1, they will tell you, say in the next 30 years, the population of this country, based on one child per partner, the population would be like, how they call it? So we're about 68 million. In the next 10 years, we might be like probably looking about 80 million people. Yeah, so Shadida is saying, yeah, the last one was done 10 years ago. So they tell you how many million people will be in this country. But our country, we don't have that. So people born in local tour, there's no hospital there to keep track of people. So the population in Liberia could be more, or it could be, because we all speculate, say we're about 5 million, but it could be 8 million people. We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
And
just in a country, the Liberians like us that out, we're not counted in that process. Because by right, from the hospital that our parents born in, they should have record of that. So even when we deceased, they also know that, yeah, this people gone. But we don't have that. So this is where we are. So therefore, you spot on. So yeah, people will have to give women credit, because if you look at Palestine, the way the Israeli been carrying them, and the people just producing, it just the number keep increasing as much as the Israeli killed, then the number just keep increasing. So it just tell you that
but
people are busy.
I think sometimes it's the work of God. You know, you kill the people, then get like you go, you brush your farm, right? Like how our old people can brush
Yeah.
your grass, they push. When you brush a new one coming up. So you know that how God did life. Imagine that you got a country where nobody dying. So the birth rate will be slow because the same amount of people.
Yes.
Imagine if we have met our 10th grandparents, one house would that be enough for all? We all follow our house. You know, people will begin to get tired of. And we got some countries in Liberia. I'm not trying to to bomb off any country, but we got some countries in Liberia, man. Their birth rate is high. The people they can get tired. Like Nima County and Bon County, those two countries, man. I know about them well because I live there. And you go to Nima County, you see a boy, maybe 15, 16 years old, I get 2, 3 children. And that's it. But the population explosion in Liberia, like you said, you know, is more than what we're predicting because the census, even the census that they had, you know, that they've been talking about that carried the population up to 5 million people. I don't trust that census because some of the remotest areas, even election time, people don't reach there. You think that census business will carry somebody there. You know, people don't go there. We don't have access to every part of the country, access to roads, you know, so it makes it difficult. But we hope that future leaders will think about that. But we're going to take a quick musical break that gives us the opportunity to share the show, and then when we'll be back, we'll be going
No,
directly
before
into
we take it, what's on the menu before we take a
yeah,
break?
okay.
What's on the menu?
Okay, I think that's good. We need to see what we got here that we'll be discussing tonight. Well, from my side, from what I see, Mr. Alexander Benedict Cummings, leader of the CPP in the past election and the stand-up bearer of the ANC, according to Jeremy Pia, he disappeared. He went underwater, but he broke his silence. And on Wednesday, and after breaking that silence, help broke loose in the ruling government. The ruling government is sat on the edge. In fact, they were sitting on the edge when Mr. Comey was giving that interview to a group of journalists. And right after that, the information minister came back with a faint, you know, faint, F-A-I-N-T, faint, very, very light report or something that he thought were hitting hard. But he's been getting what he deserves anyway. So we're going to be looking at some part of that interview that Mr. Cummings gave. And we're not going to play the audio though. We're just going to read from the newspaper and why the information minister came out with that weak reporter. And we'll also be looking at the suspension of government officials. Now it was, what I like about the Unity Party people, they think they're so smart than anybody. They said they were suspending ministers and other government officials for failing to declare access. But they are actually going at that certain people are going after. In fact, when they talk about the suspending government officials, ministers and others for failing to declare access is lie because the health minister and the education minister, they both came out and said a lie. Nobody suspending anybody. So then they were aiming at certain people. So as we talk, the hammer has landed on the head of Emma Glasgow from from NAFA. So we'll be also looking at that. And I don't know what you got from your side. Mister.
Will be yeah, from my end here, we'll be looking at the situation with Donald Trump and Zelensky and Putin. It's interesting time. We'll be looking at that international news, what going on there. And then we'll also look at the minority bloc, also talking about now go on the gabble of how they call it, Rachel Cohn. And then there was another chap called Fode Famula who disrespected the Supreme Court entirely. We'll be looking at that as well. So those are a few things that we need to pick up to talk about tonight. These are key points to talk about. I think it's important that this young man called Representative Fode Famula from Bon Mines area there in Bon. I think something about this young man. I met him 2017 when he contested that particular district on a Liberty Party ticket. But something about power, I think power have getting into a head. We'll talk about that. So yeah, let's share the show to our viewers. Share the show. We've got interesting thing to talk about tonight. So yeah, that's the situation. John and Connie share the show. So do you have people that up there we can recognize tonight?
Yeah, okay.
So Philip
Let me
is watching. Welcome, Philip.
Yeah, Philip Cathy and of course Chadela Brown, Chuluple, and few other people whose names do not appear on my dashboard actually. But as we, if you're watching us, just make a little comment and then we see your name, then we can recognize you. But help us to share the show because we're going to be here for the next 1 hour plus to give you particular Google information that maybe you may have heard, but we'll be looking at from different angles. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
Yeah, and also those that are on YouTube, we can see the name. So if you're on YouTube, just say hi so we can recognize you as well. So yeah, we got few. So this is let's share the show. Well, let's take a musical break while we share the show. And then
my people, where you at? Where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop sleeping. Wave your hands, wave your hands, wave your hands, wave your. Come on, come on, come on. I know you're sleeping now. You gotta wake up some more, yeah? Okay, let's go. People fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not go. I said we tired with their lies, we tired with their promises that led us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to be? You see, we just tell you that why we vote tell you. But you screw us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. People fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not corrupt. No one to trust, my people don't want to hope on. Nobody. My hope that I have been broken. I'm telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they say they could afford? But they're too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yeah, then instead they delay. People suffer, no work, but people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, they poor. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not corrupt. With their promises that led us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to be? You see, we just tell you that why we vote tell you. But you fool us, You screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie.
Through trials and tribulations, you have prevailed. The spirit is unbreakable, never derailed. With a rich heritage and culture and grace, Liberia, you are the land we embrace.
The government lied to us. This is the bottom line discussion. Welcome to the bottom line. The government betrayed us, they lied to us. Is that the same old thing that's happening now? Since 13 or what Takunje made a music, or 2006, wherever he made his music, is still fighting us. Talk to me, my brother.
You know, like I've always said about his music, people may not take Takunje seriously in Liberia, but I think this is one music he made, and it's like a vision that he had, and it's like a prophecy, you know. And this music never gets old as long as the governments that come year after years, they continue to do the same thing. This music will continue to live on. And people may not like it because of the content. People may not think it's important, but if you listen to the lyrics and what he's trying to say is the reality on the ground with every government that we have had, even from past times. So they will always come and promise, they will lie, and it's getting used to them, the politicians, and it's also getting used to the citizens. Because this is why it has become so difficult for anybody to make political ground in Liberia. Whether you are a newcomer on the block, people will say, well, we don't trust them. People, that fear is in the people, in the citizens, because they are used to it, that the people will come and lie to them. And the politicians too, they are used to it, that, okay, yeah, we can go and lie to the people and they will trust us. To the point where the Liberian people would look at a good person coming, they say, we know you. Whether you bringing heaven down to them, no, we know you. But we know the people who will use, so who can lie to us, that the people that will trust. So I think for me, this music, like I've always said, is the reality of everything that is happening on the ground when it comes to governance. So do you have
absolutely Linfo is spot.
I was just asking what you have on the international scene.
Yes. So let's go to the international news. I mean, Trump that he was going to stop the war in the Ukraine, right? And he's trying to do something now about it, and this is the situation. So the question is tonight to our audience, we're going to play a little clip from BBC about what is happening in the Ukraine, and we need the audience view on this as well. Have Donald Trump, who winning, NATO won the war, or Russia won the war, or who the loser in the whole thing? So we'll look at this from an international standpoint first. So this is a BBC Good Morning program, and it's about 3 minutes. So let's listen to
President
this.
Trump says negotiations begin immediately to end the war in Ukraine. Has President Putin of Russia already won? Almost 3 years since Russia launched its full-scale invasion of Ukraine, and as Russian missiles continue to rain down on Kyiv, tonight President Trump says that negotiations have begun to end it. He had a 90-minute phone conversation with President Putin of Russia and a 1-hour phone conversation with President Zelensky of Ukraine. Here's what Donald Trump said in the last hour.
I think when the war ends, one thing he was very strong about, if it ends, he wants it to end. And that's President Putin said that. He wants it to end. He doesn't want to end it and then go back to fighting 6 months later. We talked about the possibility, I mentioned it, of a ceasefire so we can stop the killing. And I think we'll probably end up at some point getting a ceasefire in the not too distant future.
And here's President Trump's Defense Secretary, Pete Hegseth, at a meeting of Kyiv's allies in Brussels today, telling Ukraine with absolute clarity, forget about getting all of your country back.
But we must start by recognizing that returning to Ukraine's pre-2014 borders is an unrealistic objective. Chasing this illusionary goal will only prolong the war and cause more suffering. The United States does not believe that NATO membership for Ukraine is a realistic outcome of a negotiated settlement. Instead, any security guarantee must be backed by capable European and non-European troops. To be clear, as part of any security guarantee, there will not be U.S. troops deployed to Ukraine.
So, Nick, how is this going down here in the UK?
Well, I think we can be pretty sure that ministers and officials in the UK will have been glued to their television sets to see that very important intervention by President Trump, as you say, in the Oval Office in the last hour, where he's saying we should be working towards ending this war immediately, talking about how he is the difference between continuing bloodshed and a ceasefire in the not too distant future, and talking how, as president, he has had to see some really horrendous, horrific images, and that's why he wants this to end. The president also announcing that in the not too distant future, he will be traveling to Saudi Arabia to meet President Putin. But there will be interest in the contrasting way in which President Trump talks about Vladimir Putin and Volodymyr Zelensky. So of the president of Russia, he says Vladimir Putin wants this to end. Of President Zelensky, President Trump talked about how his poll numbers are not great. And I do have to say that contrasting approach is causing alarm in the UK defence establishment. They note that when President Trump issued his Truth Social statement this afternoon saying he'd been speaking to Vladimir Putin, he talked about how he would inform Volodymyr Zelensky of their conversation. And talking to people in the defence establishment, what I'm hearing are things like this. They, the US administration, are doing this above Zelensky's head. And on the overall approach, which is that no way will Vladimir Putin get all he wants, which is Ukraine, but Volodymyr Zelensky will lose a huge amount of Ukraine. This is what I'm hearing of the US administration. The bastards are going to do this.
Linfa?
Yeah.
Linfa, you heard the clip. Donald Trump made a promise that he will end the war in Ukraine. And all along, we know that NATO wanted, Joe Biden specifically wanted a fight with the Russian. So this guy come in now to change the narrative. Is Russia the winner here?
Well,
talk to me now.
It's just unrealistic from our side to want to believe that there is any clear winner in a war. No matter whether it's the war in Ukraine or the war that was fought in Afghanistan or the World War I, World War II, or the war that was even fought in Liberia, because that one we saw physically. I have not seen a clear winner in any war situation to say, well, I won, probably I kill all the opposition, my enemies, I destroy. If two countries fighting, I have not seen that one country will fight and kill everybody in that country and take over that country. Probably it has happened before in prehistory time, I don't know. But from what I've known, I haven't seen it. So I cannot declare anybody a winner in a war, especially like the one in Ukraine. Because most of the information we get, it comes from different sides. You know, how they want it to be, the policy. If it is in the interest of NATO, NATO will decide what goes out there. If it is in the interest of Russia, Russia will decide what goes out there. if Russia will lose 200 soldiers today, they can say, well, only 5 soldiers we lost. They see on the other side, but in war situation, there's no clear winner for sure. But let's look at the promise that the U.S. president made. The question people ask is whether he has gotten a full commitment of both sides, the Russian and the Ukrainian. In fact, something will come to my mind to want to give that particular promise some credence. Two things. Number one, Donald Trump has always ventured from his first term. He was the only American president from the time America started having problems with North Korea. He was the only American president who at least had a meeting with the North Korean president, Kim Jong-un. Okay? Something that most American presidents would not do. Even our own brother Obama wouldn't do. Then, what happened from that meeting, what they realized or whatever, that one a different story. Then, if you look at the second thing that makes me to want to believe that maybe the promise he made might help to cool the war down, if not totally stop it, is that the war in Ukraine is being fueled, especially from the Ukrainian side, is being fueled by the same America through NATO. Okay, America is doing bulk of the work. So if an American president comes and say, "Well, we're going to stop the war," I'm talking to the two presidents to see if they can stop the war, and he also said that Putin said he wanted to stop the war and not to go back. That means total stop. So I want to give it some credence, that promise. I want to, because he quoted Putin and Zelensky. So I want to give it some credence, knowing fully well that this very America that Trump is president for is the one supporting Ukraine in this war with logistics and finances. In addition to that, I was just reading this morning through our Norwegian newspaper, and I saw online newspaper. I saw one news story that says, in fact, it was on Google, that says that the Norwegian government is going to spend some 22.1 million kroner, 22.1 billion kroner, and the equivalent should be like maybe $21 million. No, not million, $1 billion, $21 billion to buy some air defense for Ukraine. So if Donald Trump is saying that he has talked to both presidents for this war to end, and Putin gave his commitment that he wants to end the war once and for all, he doesn't want to fight, end the war, and then go back again, then how can countries like Norway will want to assist Ukraine with $22 billion to buy air defense force? So again, it becomes conflicting from my own point of view. And besides that, Norway just, according to the same news, Norway just assisted, I think, Ukraine with a certain amount of money in the tune of, I just forgot the figure, but millions of kroners. You see, so I know, yeah, it's also possible that Norway could donate. And guess who they want to buy the weapons from, the air defense force from America? That's the country that Norway wants to buy. I'm quoting Google, I'm quoting it on the news, so is that me saying it? So I hope Norwegian government will not get mad. I'm exposing that military secret, but it was on the internet. I'm just sorry that when I opened my computer, I didn't get it. It's gone far now. So, but if America is intervening, then Norway is trying to spend that huge amount of money. I don't know how many pieces of that weapon they'll buy for Ukraine. So how do we see the war ending? It's like you got a football team, right? The football team, they ain't got goofy, they ain't got football, they ain't got jersey. Then somebody volunteer to buy all the things for them, fix the field, buy that football jersey and buy that shoes, everything. What you think they will get? Buy the new jersey and go sit down? No. They want to train, they want to practice, they want to play a game.
So
to see.
Yeah. So Linford.
Yeah.
What the Defense Secretary of U.S. said that there'll be no American soldier put on the ground. They actually mean, and JD Vance, the vice president, is in Munich today. They have a Security Council meeting. Donald Trump made it clear, and that the defense secretary said something. The negotiation, the territory that Russia have gained, they cannot guarantee Ukraine that they will get it back.
Yeah.
And this is why they cannot guarantee that they will get it back. And even so, in one of the interviews Trump had, he said that he even getting a Chinese president. Now, what happened with NATO now, some of the countries that like the UK that were pushing all of this, they would not be part of the negotiation. Most NATO countries that were, so these guys are pushing, and guess what? NATO, Europe is depending on America. America said they're not putting no one on the ground. And Trump have made it clear. Zelensky have been playing the US by taking billions of dollars, and he's going to stop that. So that means Zelensky is in trouble. He's not going to get the backing that he needed from America. And Europe don't have the defense capability now. They've been depending on America. So they kind of stuck to where they are. So who going to, if you're talking about the $21 billion that Norwegian put aside, maybe that because they're part of NATO, that money will just get stuck somewhere and say, no, this is not happening. So the question when I ask is who the winner here? Russia have taken huge chunk of territory from the Ukrainian. And guess what happened? All of the places they took, they are all Russian-speaking areas. And they're not going to let that go. So they left the Ukrainian side, the Ukrainian-speaking people one side, so they're not going to get it back. And this is what the secretary was saying. They cannot guarantee that Russia will give it back. And that negotiation now, Putin explained out that he doesn't want to have a discussion with Zelensky. And if they're going to have, or how they call it, say peacekeeper, it will not be country that Great Britain and all of you be part of it. It have to be different people, because those countries that were pushing that they want to have fight with Russia, we know them. So now the British defense force got stuck. They don't know what to do. They're confused. What's how to go now? The guy they were depending on saying it's not going to happen. The war must end. So
Yeah.
Zelensky knew all of this, but go along because Joe Biden could have stopped the war from the beginning, 3 years on. But they just wanted a fight with Russia. They wanted a fight, and the fight they wanted now, the Ukrainian they became what? The loser. But that huge chunk of territory that the people have taken, they will not get it back. So where else now? The war must end. People just dying. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Paul. You know, we look at it from various perspectives, right? We can look at it from the military perspective, where somebody wants to assert power, somebody wants to show that they can get even with the other group. And then we can look at it from the economic perspective as well as the human resource perspective. Because when you fight war, people die. You spend money. Areas get destroyed. So all those things entails, or it has very deep blow on the economy, no matter how deep your pocket is, like America. Now, America has fought some, in my own opinion, this is just my own opinion, America has fought some senseless wars around the world. They went to Afghanistan, they've been there many years. When they were retreating, they left a whole lot of military highways that cost billions of dollars behind. And the Afghan, the Afghan government is strong. I mean, military is strong today because of that. America has been in Africa to overthrow governments. They went to Libya, they did it. They went to Iraq, they did it. They are all over the place. Their fingerprints are all over the place. And every war that they fight, they're spending a lot of money, the taxpayers' money. And so I think Trump being a businessman, and he sees the whole thing as just wasting money. What? Who made you the world police? Why are you forced to be the one to decide what others do? And so you go in their country. So Trump said, but the whole thing, we are wasting money for nothing. And like you were asking, Paul, who won the war? Okay, if we want to say somebody won, then it's Russia, because you got NATO, which is a conglomeration of countries, okay, with one military interest. They go and fight one Russia. People have always said this. Russia has not even used its might. In fact, Russia don't even need to use it because what America was looking for, or what not America. Let me get more America, but what I think Ukraine and the countries that are backing America was looking for was provocation. Just provoke Russia, send some missiles there. Russia will be tempted to use a nuclear bomb. Then we say yes, they are breaking a nuclear law. So also in that same story I was reading today, President Trump has met, I think, China and Russia to try to suggest some atomic something discussion. I was at work today, so I didn't read the story. I just saw the headline. So I think Trump is making every frantic effort to see that the war in Ukraine can end, because who's fighting the war? Yeah, Ukrainian soldiers are fighting and dying, but who's spending the money? You know, so I think Trump, being a businessman, he's looking at the economic side of it, whether who wins or not, but at least save your money for senseless war that is not your war. Okay, look at how much he spent every time, every day, every minute of the day in Ukraine. What if another strong country attacks, America itself? So America will have two fronts. They'll be fighting out of war and fighting. You know, so I think Trump is taking the right step, and I hope that
and see, Linford.
You are muted, Paul.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. Yeah. You see, Linford, when the protest say somebody have experience, the former president Biden, all his years in Congress, it was all about going after Russia. So when he became president, it was the opportunity that he has to let's test these people, let's just take a fight. Because this is the era that he come from back World War. When he was born, it was just the end of World War II. So everything on the news were all about. Yeah, so it's just about fight. So you see the trouble he caused in the war, the time he caused trouble in the Middle East, he caused trouble in Europe, and then he just left like that because what he wanted, he knew that, power. If you have power, you go test somebody. They were testing Russia to see what they have. But then just that little Arushnik that they used, that was the one that pulled NATO back, say, wait a minute, we cannot tamper with it. But they were poking their nose into the Russian business. They kept poking their nose. Remember when the British people sent their weapon and the Americans decided to give their weapon for Zelensky to use? Putin once said this will escalate, but to cut this nonsense, what he did, he gave that Orishnik that he sent, and then NATO backed off because up to today's date, NATO cannot have, they don't have the anti-missile system to accept that particular weapon. So that's what made it, just defeated their purpose. So they use Ukraine. So look, Finland is sharing border with Russia. The Finnish people know what happened. The history between them and Russia. Why NATO could not use Finland? Finland is part of NATO. But they took a comedian who is the president of Ukraine that don't have no experience. The CIA played him. He decided he fell for the trick. And what happened? He got a lot of his people killed. He got his country destroyed. Part of the good number of his country now have been chopped by the Russian, and they're not going to get it back because of the inexperience that he brought to the table. Now he's stuck. You get Trump now say, no, if I want to kill people, I'll go to the Middle East where I want to buy Gaza and build property. But for Russian, this our equal strength. If we keep poking them, we'll get into some serious World War III, and we don't want this. So the war should stop. But Zelensky, the part of your land I was taking, you're not going to get it back. So this is where we are. So I think that Putin is smiling because now in that interview, what Donald Trump said, he will at some point be meeting Putin. He will visit Putin, but already they're going to meet in China. They're having a discussion that they're going to meet. And he also suggested that Russia should not be part of this so-called G7. They must bring Russia back to be part of the G8 because it's a power. You cannot exclude them from decision making. So Trump now caught the European unaware with his message. They kind of confused. They don't know where to turn. They were following American footsteps. Then the UK is just a Liberia. It's a puppet to America. Where America go the way they follow. So now UK were pushing. How come now they stuck? Are they going to go and ban Putin? Boris Johnson was the one.
Let me just ask you.
Yeah.
Let me ask you. Now that the big guy, the big elephant in the room that everybody was fighting, or depending on to go pick a fight, and it's like you and your big brother walking, and then you picking for, you depend on your big brother. You start picking for even people that are bigger than you, so that when the person wants you, your brother will go fight for you. Then all of a sudden your brother say, "My hand is out, you'll go fight." I'm not fighting for you. So do you think this is going to discourage, or it's going to bring some kind of sanctity? Like, it's going to put sense in most of the I call it the NATO member countries in Europe that the America here, they will not just be pushing or will go somewhere, then family move from here. So you think they'll start getting second thought? Like my own country, Norway, we are the Secretary General of NATO right now. Okay, our former Prime Minister is the Secretary General. So by default, Norway is the Secretary General of NATO. So and all of a sudden, America got a new president, and he said, well, we're going to stop the war. We're not fighting the war. So you think some of the countries are going to get sense now, second thought in the future?
That's a good question, because what happened, France, when UK were part of the EU, France had been calling and said, look, it's about time that we do something. The EU must be able to defend themselves then, depending on America. France been calling for that. Now, what Donald Trump did to them, they're behind, because the kind of weapon that Russia and America is building, it will take years before Europe catch up. And that's the fact. So they were sticking behind America for America to do all the dirty work, and then it send them. So look what happened in Libya. Because Obama didn't want Gaddafi, they said, oh, NATO, UN Security Council came out, they destroyed that place. The same thing they did with Saddam Hussein. So if you get people that don't want going all over the place causing unnecessary war, what do? UK cannot do anything without America. The moment Joe Biden said, oh, we do them, who? Boris Johnson was in Kiev supporting. So now, with Trump not supporting this, because they said they're not going to send no money anymore, why you cannot need to take advantage and send their own people. Let's see what Trump would do.
Well,
now Trump working on how to build the kind of infrastructure they need, because Russia is already there. They are the top. But then remember too, Ukraine was the second largest army in Europe. It just took Russia 1 day to demolish all their things before NATO came in. And all that thing, it kind of painful to them. So that's the way it is, man. I think in the end, although a lot of people die unnecessarily, the thing could have been prevented, but Joe Biden wanted to fight with Russia. And now Ukraine, the victim in the whole thing. And guess what? Trump and Putin, they seem to get along well.
Yeah.
See?
And you said something that experience matters. I've been to Ukraine 3 times. The last time I was there was 2017. It was 7 years ago. And I know the general condition of that country when I was there at that time. I have my business partners, and so I used to go there. And I mean, driving from Kiev to that southeastern city called Dnipropetrovsk. Paul, you're driving in the forest. I said, I think I told you this story before when it's in show where I met where people cleaning the road with their hand. You know, the African people get when you're pointing fine, you gotta go clean the fine before you pack all the driveway together and point it. They got it drilling on the road. I saw the heavy smoke ahead of me, and I'm like, what's burning? My friend out sitting with me moving. Then she said, maybe horse pointing. I said, okay. And when we approached the place, we saw the garden working hard, but man, no equipment. And the city that we're going to is one of the industrial cities that were there during the Soviet Union. And that particular city, Dnipro, anybody who knows it, they will tell you, is a huge, very huge, if I'm not mistaken, more than London. But all the factories that were operating during the Soviet Union all abandoned. In fact, the old men who were fixing the gadgets that I was buying, the old man used to work in one of those factories. So since abandoned, and they still got the technology, yeah, we used to go there and collect the scrap and fix it and sell it. Can you imagine? And all the people you can see, they put sitting under this, swing the money, nothing to do. So you, Zelensky, America come to you or NATO come to you and say, "Oh, don't go fight Russia." What benefit am I going to get when my people suffering no job? So if you want me to go do your to fight your proxy war, come and develop my country, give me money, open the factory, let my people work. But you got it. I don't know what promise they made to him. Now America draw back. You got to know that in America, they didn't get friends. People they got interest. When they know that interest at a certain point, they will go for it. After they leave you, what you do? So, but anyway, we hope some country will not make mistakes.
On Tuesday, we did play a video on this program regarding the CIA. They started the fight, and what they did, they got this Ukrainian started because they speak one common language over there. The Russian, you wouldn't tell the Ukrainian from the Russian.
Of course.
So they infiltrated the Russian security sector and were giving information to the CIA. And they're going on for a long, and every time Putin kept warning them, just stop this. And they knew that they built the Ukrainian special forces that just in case anything, they will go into Russia. They were training them. So you remember 11 years ago when they took Crimea. The purpose of that Crimea, the Black Sea, where Ukraine had. So Putin was smart by taking Crimea, because if they were not going to take Crimea, NATO were going to carry their military stuff at that particular place. So when they took Crimea, that means Russia control the Black Sea. You can't temper around there. And the Black Sea between Russia and Turkey. So by taking Crimea, they control that area. So NATO could not go there. That was the sensible thing. That was the warning they gave. You stop this thing. And it kept pushing. So they got one morning, say, okay, we'll go for special operation. And that special operation, it meant that the Russian-speaking people in Ukraine were also victimized by the Ukrainian authority. And that was getting people in Russia so angry that you can sit down here, our people are dying. That's why they came up with a special operation to poke into. So that's the little history of it, because I live there and I know what I'm talking about. So Linford, let's move to Liberia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
let's move to
talking
Liberia.
About Liberia, I think what you want us to start with? You want us to start with Mr. Cummings breaking his silence?
No, I think let's keep Mr. Cummings the last. The reason being, Liberia is in serious trouble. And then so Cummings' comment is something that summarizes the trouble Liberia is in. So let's see what are happening. This thing here, this article that is up there, Front Page Africa reported this story. just a basic summarize the whole issue of this ultra virus that they came up with, the reason why they boycotted the president nationwide address. And he made it clear. Said the reason was simple. He said, look, there's two things in their own rules that you get Article 33 and 49. One said the minority, he said the minority bloc that have the speaker, they don't have the number to carry all a quorum. But the group that have the number to carry a quorum, they does not have speaker. So going to the nationwide thing, it was like, we're not honoring you guys. You have your own internal problem until you resolve your problem. Will come one day. And then what happened? You have the justice minister interpreting these people on a ruling. So the boycotted the whole thing. So he justified, said, look, we don't want to interfere into another branch, but we made it clear they have not done the right thing. They should go and do the right thing. You get a point? And this is what sparked the whole thing, that the Supreme Court made it clear, but because the Supreme Court said they cannot melt into the other provinces, the ruling is already there. They make it simple. But because the executive decided to do business with the so-called majority bloc, so they took their own decision. That's why the guys boycotted. So this is the situation in a town. And now, because of talk to me.
Yeah, you know, when we were small boy, we used to hear the word, right? We used to use the thing. We use the word. We say equal, equal, because the majority blocks there, they have their own rules in their house that they go by. So they cannot allow the Supreme Court, as a different branch of government, to dictate to them. So in as much as the Supreme Court told them that what you're doing is ultra virus, meaning it's not proper, go and do it properly, they said, no, you can't tell what to do. So they continue. And then the judges said too, and if you remember, a few weeks ago, we discussed this thing, few weeks, or even just a week before the what you call it, the State of the Nation address. We discussed this thing. We said that the Supreme Court might not want to go sit under the gown of Richard Coon, because they have already said that what they're doing is ultra virus. It's not right. So it will be like, you know, like I gave the example. You go, you condemn the school. You say, oh, the university is not good. Then you go take their entrance and you go sit there in the classroom. So then what are you doing? So I think but again, the Supreme Court was late in making this thing clear, because they should have come out and threaten the executive from the beginning and say, look, we are saying that this thing is not done properly, but if you continue to honor Richard Coon as well, Speaker, during your State of the Nation, we will not come there, but and see whether the executive will continue. But then I think it was also good that they didn't threaten them before, you see. So their action was very good, and I think it confirmed that Richard Coon is not the legitimate speaker. And also, I think there is
Mother Bill was the guest speaker at the Armed Forces Day program. Something that I don't know how come they have to invite some foreign leader to speak to our armed forces. I don't know, but the president refused to talk to the very first Armed Forces Day he canceled it. This is the second one, and he refused to speak to the people that the army that he commanded. But having said that, in Mother Bill's speech, he recognized all the people, the top government official there. And Richard Coon was saying this, he didn't even mention the speaker. Then Madam Eddie Johnson Sirleaf went to the program. She snubbed Richard Coon.
Yeah, refused to shake his hand.
Yes.
She rather shook or Falahen.
So this issue that it just like something is just wrong with the whole thing. And this, I think Richard Kuhn, maybe this guy is power drunk. He's not getting a message that how come he was sitting behind Malabio? Malabio's jump for him. Mr. President, Vice President, the pro tem, the Chief Justice, and he went and then he introduced how to call it, another commander, the chief of staff from Sierra Leone was there at the program that accomplished it. He did not recognize the speaker. Then Eddie Joseph Key is nothing. So why this guy is so desperate to be the speaker? Why? I mean, if people keep embarrassing you, why can't you just say, look, let's go do the thing right. If I would be, let me be the speaker because I have the majority. So y'all go in the house and do the right thing. Why are they afraid of? You see? So
yeah, but even though we are not come to the Mr. Cummings bit here, but I think Mr. Cummings mentioned this thing when Mr.
So let's wait
Cummings
for that one. So that's the conclusion to this program.
Okay.
Because what happened now? The minority bloc from the justice in Chimo comment that he made in Nima, the minority bloc went to session and he raised the issue on the floor that it should be part of their agenda for discussion. And this guy refused. So what happened? This other guy, let me put this thing up. Let me remove this one here. Musa Bedete raised because they call roll after calling roll, then they lay out the agenda for the session. So Musa Bedete raised his hand and said, look, from what Justice Wese said, they should be put on the floor for discussion. They dismissed that. Another Fresque Pekin, who representing a district in Bon County, I met him, that young Pekin. He ran to be representative for that district before 2017. I met him on Liberty Party TK. We met at the University of Liberia. I know him well. So let's listen to this Pekin rebuttal to what Musa Bedete said.
Address them and to inform them that their actions and their continuous sitting in defiance of the Supreme Court ruling delivered by the full bench and properly interpreted.
This is the one here.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, I'm not calling the noise, please. Before you have the floor. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Deputy Speaker, distinguished colleagues, before I can state my readiness, you will not. I'm going to ask for please have your seat. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Deputy. The noise, please have your seat. Soka, Julie, please have your seat. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Deputy Speaker, distinguished colleagues, before stating my readiness, we will not give any relevant or any legal statement for the Associate Justice. When someone going to King Jusha and make a statement, we're not giving any relevant to it. I'll be ready to go. Hold on.
I think his statement is contemptible. They can hold him in contempt because in as much as you will disagree with the other members of the other branch of government, you cannot describe their action like that. It's the same government, it's the same Supreme Court that when anything happens, they will run to. And what if since they come from the executive, since they are being backed by the executive, what if the executive will say anything? Somebody will say to the executive to the president. How will they see?
This is total disrespect to the other branch of government. There's a law. So this young man, he I think the power have getting into a head that because he been elected as representative, and been supported by the executive, he can come on and say complete nonsense by not thinking. So what happened? The Supreme Court now kept quiet. There is a build of information that is supposed to come up with to clarify the whole thing. So basically just gave a little icing on the cake that this is our thinking. And this young man now going to tell the Supreme Court justice that the man that Laker told here, King Yushab, total disrespect. So what will be the outcome? I think he's got it all wrong, and there will be a big show. So let's continue. Because of that, Musa Berete, who is the head of the minority bloc, they released their own statement that based on their law, based on what the justice said, you can be small in group, but you can compare the other people to come to session because the minority group have the speaker. So they can have a session and they can continue and force the other people that don't have speaker to come back. So this is the situation now. Because of what has happened, they're not going to sit on a Richard Kuhn. Let's listen to Musa Berete.
Address them and to inform them that their actions and their continuous sitting in defiance of the Supreme Court ruling delivered by the full bench and properly interpreted by the Justice Chamber are illegal. Their persistent disregard for the highest code of our land and endangers the survivability of our country. It undermines our governance system and threatens both national and international confidence in our institutions. This continued defiance put us at risk and the integrity of our democracy and the stability of our economy and the trust of the Liberian people and our international partners. We call on our colleagues to respect the decision of the Supreme Court and to work with us towards a resolution that is consistent with the rule of law. As of today, we are resolved that we will no longer sit under their leadership as the court has declared their actions unlawful. Instead, we will continue to work with Speaker Kofa and convene with him as necessary in accordance with Article 33 of the Constitution, which allows us to meet and adjourn in the absence of a quorum. We will maintain this position until our colleague recognizes the authority of the Supreme Court and until the executive ceases its support for their unconstitutional actions. Further, we call on the Senate to honor and respect the Constitution by ceasing all business with this body that has been declared illegal by the Supreme Court. We also urge the international community, including ECOWAS, the AU, the EU, the United Nations, and the government of the United States to refrain from engaging with them. The ongoing crisis at the House of Representatives is not merely a political dispute. It is a direct challenge to the foundation of our democracy and the rule of law. A nation that does not respect its Supreme Court risks descending into lawlessness and instability. We will not stand by idly as the democratic principles that govern us are disregarded for personal and political gains. We reaffirm our commitment to peace and to upholding the rule of law. We would not be intimidated or we would not surrender to any group seeking to hijack our democracy. The Liberian people deserve better and will remain steadfast in ensuring that justice, democracy, and constitutional governance prevail. This is a statement of the rule of law. Thank you.
Most ability said it all.
But
Article 33 gave them, because they have the speaker, so they can continue to go to session. They're not going to compare the other people. So so we got two speakers in Liberia, which is so wrong. And this, when I say elders, people say experience. Experience is something in life that if you don't have, before I can be working in a mechanic shop, to unscrew things and put things back. But it wouldn't give me that because I work 50 years in a mechanic shop that I can lead the people in a mechanic shop. This is where Liberian made a mistake. We brought somebody on also because the person served for 50 years in government, so they have experience. But my point here is President Barker, from what he's showing, I think he does not have any leadership ability, in my opinion. I don't see it. This is so you flow.
Yeah. I think the action by, or the statement by the minority bloc, let Mommy Free say, let me get highlighted. It should have been what they were supposed to do from the start. Continue to go and disrupt, continue to go. And I like the new trend that they
get go from the beginning.
Yeah. I like a new trend that they are taking. Or probably they didn't start it from the beginning because they thought going to the Supreme Court would have come out with a clear-cut decision. But since that didn't happen, they are on the second leg. Now, imagine Richard Kun is being supported by the executive. So, it's like the culpable, the on top part dry thing is good. But when you step inside, the on part wet, that's what's happening. It's just cosmetic. Everything that he's doing is cosmetic. Like, oh yeah, I'm the speaker because the executive gave me the budget, or they invited me to the state of the nation and blah, blah, blah. But they didn't say they're having problem because you're supposed to have 73 people in the house. Every time you go, you're dealing with only 30 something, 40 something, and the other people stay out. And most of the people that are out, their own committee. Now they started forming new committees, committee head, appointing new committee heads. And guess what? They will end up appointing one person to 5 different committees because they are short of people. So then what happens? And now the next thing, they want to threaten the people with their salary, that if they don't come to work, they will suspend them or they will not give them their salary. But hell no, this will not work, because if the minority bloc say we're not going to session, they will also cripple the majority bloc. And Kun will not be, he will just be doing, like I said, cosmetic work. Simply because the executive is accepting what he's doing. It is supposed to be the executive to say, no, what is going on is not right. Let's fix it. But no, Paul, this is the first time I see maybe you and I, we're forcing, you say, oh, my man, I'm strong, I can beat you. Then I say, okay, let's go for it. You say he's strong, then he's scared to go for me. But I know I lazy, he's going to beat me. But I say, okay, I already can go beat me. Then you can beat me. You can go for me. So you get a number according to your majority. So you go back and do the simplest thing, which is put your own people one side, let the majority group, the minority group go one side. You put Kofa in the center. You Kofa, we don't want you because it is so. We don't want you. Okay, so we're ready to vote to move you. What is the big thing there? But this is the tactic of the Unity Party, where they run away from reality. They did the same thing in the CPP. Before they talk about convention, they say, oh, coming to buy. All the people are safe to say they don't trust their memos. They talk about black voting, they say, no, that one buy worse. Okay? They talk about voters' perception, they didn't want to go there, say. Because they don't want anybody, when they go for voters' perspective or perception, they don't want anybody in any of the countries mentioning the incoming. They just want to say, Pwaka. So when somebody say, oh, coming, then they say, oh, no. So you see, this is the kind of people they are, and it's all orchestrated by the president. Because this president is afraid of competition. He's not a leader, he's a divider. So, and this is where we find ourselves. And that's why he was quick to recognize the majority bloc. But I think we can transition if you would mind.
No, something you said, Linfo. The majority block, right? You said, why are they afraid? When they were electing a so-called Richard Kuhn, they said they were 50%. That is a big number, 50 out of 73. So even if you have election, you go in there, you have election, they see 50% will vote for you, right?
Right.
So what you get 50 according to you. So you get 50, go on a fanatic cover, gamble, sit there, you made the allegation, he removed himself, the deputy president, you have election, you're already 50. Mathematically, you will beat this guy and Richard Kuhn, you put your name now. Even if somebody challenge you, you still get 50. Okay. Right? That means so why are you have the number, you so afraid to go and do the right thing? This is the problem the guys have. You get a number, you're afraid. So
I told you, that's a tactic of the tactics of the Unity Party. Joe Baka, when they had a CPP, the youth people always say, "Oh, we bring in the largest amount of people on the table." Okay, in the CPP, since you get the largest amount of people, they'll go for convention. They say no, coming will buy our people. The interest of people. Time for election will not even held. Joe Baka start threatening the whole country that if elections are held and Georgia, in fact, if the Unity Party does not win, they will burn the country. These are the same people who are going after Representative Foko for expressing his feeling that one day all the thing you're doing, you'll get there, you'll burn place. He just said I'll burn a place. He didn't say I'll burn a capital. Okay. So should we go by and arrest Joe Baka for saying that if he didn't win, if the UP didn't win, Liberia will be no more, they'll burn Liberia? You see, so they always they use intimidation. And like Mami Free said, giving a budget to Kun was just intended to intimidate the minority black, and so then the minority black members will say, "Oh, you see, my man, we didn't get no more chance. So the president not recognize Kun, let's get dismantled." But I like the way even a few people. Let me tell you, they are 73. Even if they got 60, they still get 13 people out. Okay, so and those 13 people they can cause disruption. Go just to certify to certify their law that in order for you to take your pay, you should be present on the ground, you should be working. Go when they call roll, you answer. You're not asking, you're there. But time for them to take a decision or disrupt, even you can fire your work or sir. Every day you do it, every session day you do it, they will see the Kun himself will know that what they're doing to disturb Kofa is not good. But I think enough of that nonsense because every time I talk about this,
because when Justice Bisi said that the minority group, they have the legitimate speaker, so they can do their business. But the other group that have the big number, they don't have the legitimate speaker, but they can have their own.
It's still not balanced. It's still not balanced, Paul, because
it's not balanced. So the one that get it, the legal right to do, continue having session and compare.
No, but they can't have session. No, they can't. They also can't have session.
I listened to one of the former representative. He said, I think it was on one of the programs. He said, according to that rule, according to that law, even if there are 7 persons that will go after they go into session, that have that number, they still gave them their salary because they go into work.
Yeah.
They have the legitimate thing to do. So they must
let me tell you when I say it's not balanced. Let me tell you what I mean. They got they got the minority group, got the legitimate speaker, right? But they do not form quorum.
Right.
Okay. The majority group got illegal speaker, but they get quorum. And so this is where yeah. So this is a sticky part. So and in their law, there is nothing, and even under the Constitution of Liberia, there is nothing that compare. Yeah, they say the minority group can go and meet because they guess, but they will not be on the whole session because they don't form the quorum. They will not go courtroom and walk away, which is legitimate under the law. But then they're not doing business. And so and so is the majority. The majority, you got the group, you got a number, but you don't have the legitimate person. So under a correct government, under a correct leadership, this is an impasse. This is what we call impasse or standoff. So they should find solution to that because nothing will be working. Nothing will be working. You got more some more people who go every day disrupt and go home and then they take pay. You spending for nothing money. Okay, when business, when even a majority group is not doing good business, so I don't know how they look at it, and like I said, to me it's just cosmetic. They just want to show the outside world, but I think Kun should be smart enough to see the handwriting on the wall that even Madame Salih Malapio from right next door will not shake your hand at a very big, will not recognize you at a very big occasion in your own country. If at least you went out and they didn't recognize you, people can say, okay, they know me, but in your own country. Different president come to address, and you are a key member. In fact, you saw the heading one of the three.
And he was sitting right behind him.
Yeah. So something is not right, and I think he should get some sense, and say, well, something is not right, and then we were just talking. Then you get a number, your go try strength,
Yeah, but so Linford. Madam Sally, Eddie Joseph Sally embarrassed him. Marlon Bill embarrassed him. So that is common sense. That wait a minute, since I got embarrassed now, let me rally my group. Let go to Honor Fanati. Let remove him legally.
Simple.
And then you people vote for me. But this is what is I mean, I don't know, something is just not right. The greed is too much with him there. And he said something, say if the people don't get salary. I think this is the time that Liberians should elect people into the chamber that have money. Do not elect hungry people into that house. Because when people hungry, they all go there, they won't get rich overnight. But when people who already self-sufficient, that they only go in there to serve the people. These are the people we shall be electing them to elect people that for the family then that go in the house.
Yeah, but it will also create problem because how many middle income people who are well to do in Liberia on the ground? That means you gotta go in the diaspora.
Even the diaspora, that's why they gave for the opportunity. Say we are what they call it, dual citizenship. They get people in Liberia. Don't be.
Okay, hold on.
They have people in Liberia that have money put in the diaspora in that country. They have not given them. I'll give you an example. There's a chap in District 17, CC, who ran to that DJ Blue Beat. CC is well off. He was not going, he was going to represent people in Liberia, people who got something, they don't see it, they told DJ Blue over him. And guess what? DJ Blue, I just gave you an example of, you said, there's a lot of people in Liberia that, you see, in the old days when we were coming on leave for, if you can remember, that to be, I think, or to something, I'm trying to remember, you should have a house, it should be something that was in the old constitution, the one before 1986. You have to be at some age, you have to have you got a house, and your salary should be that level. That would make you to get into the house. But now, if you took formula from District 2 or whatever in Bond Mines, that Ben Gavin, he got nothing, and you put him there, he see money, he big, he gets confused because the executive not getting some kind of 15,000 envelope, he get crazy. These are the people that don't even have rack. So if they set the standard before this person become representative, they must have at least $50,000 in their account. Set this bar, make it hard. At least they must have a property worth this amount. Set the bar and see how many people will come out to run. Then you set the bar because you can't just get some kind of
you will blaspheme
But
us.
then again,
But then again,
no,
let me
this
go
is
back
why
to
you see in the West here, you see in the West here, if somebody become representative, they're there for over 40 years. They didn't go to steal, they go to serve because they want money. They're going to make their community better. So if you set that bar high, people, they got at me. I know I get 50,000 in my account. I will not even think about running to be representative. But the one I get 50,000 say I'm going to serve. And then at that point now, you say nobody make more than 5,000. Maybe the president made 2,000. The rest of the people that are going to serve maybe 1,000. They have to set the bar.
No, but Paul, I don't think I think that would be unfair. Even the Constitution will be violating the rights of other people too, because the Constitution is very clear. You should be at least 25 years old. You should have a property. It can be house. It can be anything. Value at I think a certain amount, and then the people in your district should know you. Okay, so trust me. Some rich people are, most people get rich because they are crooks. So if you say only people who get money will go there, should go there, some of them will go to only enrich themselves. The rich will be richer, the poor will be poorer all the time. So some of the poor boys go there to hustle. And not all the poor people that go there go with the intention of stealing. So some of them also make money from there.
In our legislature from Ellen Johnson time, because Taylor Town people are not getting that kind of money people getting. From Ellen Johnson legislature up to now, they are all greedy hunters. You can't point to one person in our house. Maybe I would say, well, because people that most ability have gone in now to say, oh, they had their money for good. But in Mother Nuke, it was that house that he got rich in. Edith Taylor, the Edwin Snow, all of these crooks went in there to get rich. So when you set that bar, you set the bar high, people will you lower the salary. So the crook that go in there, the crook that go in there, they're not going to steal because what? They will not be getting $15,000. That's the point. Set the bar high, then you get people that made that plan to go steal. I will not go steal.
Okay, can I counter your suggestion with another suggestion? I would think that instead of making a bar high, reduce the money that they make there. You understand what I mean? People guys like $4,000-$5,000 do not get them scratch card.
Too much.
Okay, any amount.
Too much.
Do not raise the bar. Do not raise it. Do not say, oh, people should be rich before they go there. Because some of the people, okay, and trust me, rich people, my man, should I tell you one secret about money? Paul, you say now, no. Your plans are different when it comes to money. No, trust me. Just think about it now. 1 second. Then all of a sudden, you get $500,000 cash. Somebody you get it right now. You know what your plan will be? You're not even coming on Portland Library on Tuesday. Maybe you'll be in Jamaica or you'll be in the Bahamas. Money that different kind of thing. Let me tell you, when people say money that evil thing, money that evil, but the thing that can come with money. Look, my first time handling money, the bigger money I handled in Liberian one time on the spot was $7,000. If I tell you how many times I counted that money that night, and where I hit that money, you laugh. I counted the money more than 15 times. So now I'll count 100, I'll be short. When I count 100, I'll be over. I count 10, I'll be short. I'll count the money over, and it was exact. Then I took the money from a room. In the room at home, I took the money. I said, some people know that I get money, so let me go hide the money. I went behind the hall, the breadfruit tree standing there. The leaf can dry. The old man can sweep the leaf and pack it together there. So now in the day, they burn it. I went and put the money under the breadfruit tree. Then I lie down. I said, no, maybe the woman will put fire on the money. I mean, all that thing, let me run. I went and look for the money. I took it. I put it in the ceiling. One there. I put the money in the ceiling. Then I said, I was trying to close my check. I said, no, maybe the rat will eat it. I took the money. No, the money not good. So a few things in the world. I mean, for all human beings, people can say that blind man. I want a blind man. Money and power. That two things that bad. If you get money, you get power. You use that money to look for power. And if you get power, you get money. You use the power to look for money. So those two things that they are very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. They can coexist. So the point I'm making is that there are some people who go there with honesty. A lot of people who've been having representatives over and over. And okay, you are just naming few guys from Ellen Johnson town until now. Okay? And why I think those few guys? Because they are the roguish ones. But among those few guys, there have been few other people who were there that their names are not mentioned, and they work in the same house. They are not stealing. So why I think it is so? So a rogue is a rogue. If I'm a millionaire, you don't maybe I clock to get our money. And if you put me somewhere with the intention that they made a rich man, even once I drop, I'll pick it up. They are greedy people and rogues. So I think the only way you can make it unattractive, give them no big salary, cut off all the incentives. You get them one car in the senator, let him use that one car for 9 years, and everybody should have the same car. Nobody should get it like Bobby Solo you buy for senator, you should buy for representative. One term, one car for your one term. If you're there for 18 years, like Prince Johnson was there almost 18 years, let him use that one car for the whole 18 years. The only time somebody will get a new car is if you are re-elected. I mean, if you are elected now, you get your new car. If you are re-elected, you use that same old car. It'll be less attractive to people. But because they get to the point where they get
so these are the people that make the law. They determine how much they get. So how do you get it unless you have constitutional reform? I don't think they will even be. I don't think they will even be waiting to do it because they're there for a purpose to steal. Now you are talking something about how money is interesting, and similar story they gave. I'll tell you something happened in Liberia in 2017 when I was there doing my stuff. My friend had $100 bill, right? And he had a $100 bill with the Liberian Liberty. And then what he did, he was hiding the money from his girlfriend and went and he put the money somewhere in a house. But the funny thing about that story, the guy had plenty of mouse in the house. So the place he put the money, the mouse went there, ate the US dollar and left the Liberian dollar. The guy woke up in the morning, he saw the piece of the US dollar. Even the rather all know the good money for the bank, but the guy started crying. And that was Susu money.
Look at
see? Yeah, there was Susu money, and he got so pissed off. Yeah, the rat ate a US dollar and left the Liberian dollar. So, and he got frustrated. So anyway, you're right. The money can become something. I think the way the hospital. But before we transition to the next topic, which I think is we're going to Mr. Cummings now, right?
Yeah, so
leadership is lacking in Liberia. And it comes from the executive and the upper house. The crisis that the lower house facing, one of those two should be able to show leadership. But in the case of what is happening, both of those two that I talk about, they are the cause of this problem. You see, you send a budget to them, then the upper house that's also said, no, this is wrong. The upper house agree. Lack of leadership between these two is causing a problem. Let's go. Talk to me. That's my take on this.
Okay. And for those of you following all this is the Bottom Line Liberia. You can join us every Tuesday and Friday. And today is Valentine's Day. So let's wish all of our beautiful ladies, especially from Liberia, happy love day, happy house day. And today, if you are not been having a boyfriend or girlfriend for a long time today, when somebody tells you I want you to say yeah, even if you're kidding. But I think today is love day. And the point I was saying, when I was in Liberia, I didn't know about the importance of this day, but I think it becomes so important. There are some countries that honor certain things so big, like Christmas. In the Orient, in Asia, imagine that in a country like Philippines, they start celebrating their celebration. They start from 1st September, and all the months that end with BER, September, October, November, December, 4 months they celebrating Christmas. 4 months, and I was like, what? It's true. And the way today Valentine's Day, some girls that have been waiting for boyfriend ever since they are waiting in Philippines. They are waiting for anybody to say one they will say yeah, they will not object because they feel that this day is so we got different type of cultures around the world, but we'll be by very, very.
I mean, don't That made your Liberian brothers to start buying ticket to go to Philippines.
Oh, you know how many Liberians in the Philippines? You know how many Liberians married to a Filipino? There's plenty there. But let's transition quickly.
Well, but I know they wanted. I don't know about Philippines saying giving them the secret. Now they start buying ticket to go to Philippines.
And the good thing about the Philippines is that in Africa, the first time I went to that place at all in Africa, for long in Europe, I haven't heard chicken crow in the morning. So we were in the city, and my wife now at the time, just a friend, not even girlfriend, but friend. She said we should go to their province, like in like Banga, somewhere like Banga or maybe Ganta, from the city, to meet up people. And we kind of late in the night, so we slept. Early in the morning, I could hear all over the place, everywhere. So I thought, portrait farm, So in the morning, then I decided to just walk on the main road. When I walk, I saw they fix a car tire, the old car tire, like small hall, and they get a rooster on the inside. In the morning, you see all the men with a rooster on the hand, they carry it to go for it. They can gamble with a rooster, and they fire your rooster, pima rooster. I take all the money. So then I check it all rooster from the guy. I would just went to the club. I check a guy rooster. He said, "What happened?" He said, "Hey, they can respect black people." They say, "American." He said, "Brother, what happened?" I said, "Why you carrying it?" He said, "They're going to fight." I said, "Why? If your father just grab you and carry you to go for somebody, you agree?" He said, "No." I said, "But then wait." Yeah. So he said, "Oh no, how we can get money?" So when I play Lone Africa, you there everything, So you are welcome to go there, like Liberian brothers. You go there. When you go there, you're not even regret. But I think we need to transition now. Our time is far approaching.
You're watching the review of Liberian newspapers' headlines that made news during the week on the Bottom Line Liberia. Please join us every Tuesday and Friday at 7 p.m. Liberian time, 8 p.m. UK time, 9 Central European time.
Okay, like you heard, you can join us on every Tuesday and Friday for the Bottom Line Liberia. And here we discuss the issues and discuss it from the top to the bottom, and that's why we are called the Bottom Line Liberia. We give our views. We may not be right. We are not wrong. Next on our plate is the famous or the most popular interview ever by any Liberian politician, as it stands to be, Mr. Cummings ran for election for the first time in 2017. At the time, I didn't even know much about him. I did not support him. I heard him, but I didn't know. I did not support him. I supported Joe Walker against Weah because I know that Weah was just novice in the politics. So with this experience team, they say, the old men have been government for 25 years. I say, okay. The same thing Paul was talking about experience. I say, okay, at least experience, maybe he'll know what to do. So I supported him. I didn't forget I was not in Liberia. I supported him. People see cause us. We suffer. He lost. So we all lost. Then from 2017 to 2023, I started hearing Mr. Cummings. So I'm like, but who is this guy? So when I studied Mr. Cummings' policies and everything, and I said, I think there's sense in what he's doing. So then I switched my support to him. And this very platform, we hosted Mr. Cummings one or two times before the elections, and we hosted some ANC people here as well. We hosted other politicians. My own nephew, Kawan Gonglo, was here, and even Alari Tupa was here. To show that we are open and neutral. So we continue. And after this election, Mr. Cummings from number 7 spot, he dropped to number 1%. That is 1%. That's what they say. And so I think, like any other person, even if you're a footballer like Barcelona, no matter how good you play, Manchester, you play, but certain game you play, when they win you, so now you can get discouraged. You can go regroup. So Mr. Cummings, after this election, he decided to just go silent and just believing what he did, just to relax and get some fatigue out and the election fatigue and all the stuff. So he has been silent for a while, for at least over 1 year, which is not only him. Most of the other politicians have been. In fact, even the ANC have been giving some statement, but some of the politicians, some of the parties that took part in the elections, some of them we don't know about them anymore. So Mr. Cummings decided to break his silence just 2 days ago on Wednesday, and he gave this interview. But right after the interview, I think the ruling party saw themselves in the picture. They like somebody commit crime in a town, you know who committed the crime, but then you start making medicine. You see the medicine I'm making, it will catch a person who made it, who committed the crime. Then all of a sudden, somebody start crying. Oh, what are you talking about? You say somebody will die for. So that what happened here. Mr. Cummings just question Liberia's standing now, especially when it comes to human rights activities, when it comes to corruption and all these things, when it comes to how people are being treated in government. And then the information minister, instead of digesting Mr. Cummings' interview or particular statement that he made, he came by to fire at Mr. Cummings. But basically, what Mr. Cummings said is Liberia is opting for a seat or non-permanent seat on the Security Council of the United Nations. And there are criteria that are set. You should have good human rights record. You should have good governance. So how is Liberia's bid for that particular seat going to be powerful if we got all these baggages carrying? How are we going to make it? So that was it. Paul, I don't know what else you gathered from Mr. Cummings' speech that will make this information minister to come back to say that Mr. Cummings was hiding. His only way or motivation of coming back is to question the Liberia's bid for the seat on the United Nations Security Council. I don't know what else you heard. Paul, are you there? You are muted, Paul. You are muted. You are muted.
I'm here. You can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm all. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. So, in Liberia, we don't like strong leaders and we don't like good people. You see, Mr. Cummings, we know what happened in 2023. That 1% he talked about, is not realistic. We all know that. Mr. Cummings is a force to reckon with. So his action by not speaking for a year and to come out to hit the government, that thing that he said, that prompt the how they call information minister to go crazy, obey the rule of law. You get two speakers in there, and then you bidding to be on on the UN Security Council. What sense does that mean? Your colleagues will ask you put your house in order, and you looking for leadership to lead the war. It makes sense. So that bid, they're not going to get it. And he was spot on. You bring your own capital bidding because you divided the capital bidding. Then on Armed Forces Day, you have one of the representatives from the majority going to break a speaker office. And all of these senior people on the ground looking at you. And then you want to be on what? UN Security Council? How on earth you think that's going to happen? If you have disrespect for the rule of law, and this is the point that you're making, and the minister, he know what this guy talking made a lot of sense, because when people start echoing that in Liberia, it's not good for them. You see, because they want to continue their bad ways, what they're doing, and then somebody come and just put sand in a gallery. He didn't like it, and this I think that will happen on and on. They have given them 1 year to rest, and then he came with a little sucker punch. That's just a little thing that he gave them. So what more? Come and say something in the 2023 election, people, Liberians, because we are very funny kind of people. I never saw my entire left countries that I travel that people just think one sided in Liberia, you came my mind, you came my part that the person will vote for. How can people just think like that? They see what with this old man. President Barker, during the campaign, he never gave a vision to the country, how you are going to take the country. Well, you got people like Henry Costa that came up with it and said rescue, and they ran with it. But the man now want any radio station to lay out, say this is how he's going to change Liberia. He didn't do it. The same thing with my former friend who don't talk to me this time, President. We are, but based on popularity. So you have the situation in Liberia, and people think one side, they man in his grave will vote for him. Now, to how things, how honor this man. Why are we so like that in Liberia? We just look at one thing and run with it. So what these guys are doing, they say they want the Security Council for Liberia to be a member. I think they run up to 2 years or so to be part of the UN Security Council. And if your house now together, you think you'll get a bid. And this is where Mr. Comey is saying that kind of breaking the United people. That what this guy is talking made a lot of sense. You see? So this is the summary of the whole thing. Get the house in order, and then you see if you can Security Council. Somalia just got in a few months ago.
Well, you see, and some of the things that Mr. Cummings also lay out is respect the rule of law, because when the UN Security Council, you will be mediating, you'll be serving as mediators. When there are crises somewhere, you'll be the ones to look into it and find suggestions. But yeah, you're back in your own house. It's just like, you want to go make peace in my house, but in your house where your children there, you want to break all the dishes, you want to break all the glasses, then you want to come to my house to come make peace. I will tell you, my man, go settle your own first.
See?
And if Liberia will miss this opportunity because of bad governance, do you know how long it will take again for Liberia to even be given the opportunity to want to apply? So Mr. Comey is putting there on a guide. If they were smart people, they would think. And you said something. Mr. Cummings gave them one complete year. You know, I made a shot yesterday. After work, I was just deciding to go pick up my kids from the school, and then while playing with my phone, then I saw somebody put this quote from Jeremy Pia, where you were reacting to Mr. Comey, that Mr. Comey, after election, he went into hiding. He just came out, and the only motivation he had is to question Liberia's chance to get on the security. So I didn't even read the whole thing. Then no, Paul, it was like somebody was joking me with needle. Well, I was trying to put my pig in the car. I said, wait, I think I didn't want to forget. I said, I got to make some quick video. Yeah. And if you go on my page, you'll see that video. Okay? You want my story. I went so mad. I went ballistic at PR yesterday. I mean, I used some words that I would not normally use, but I was mad. I mean, after elections, imagine that after election, the first week, second week, or let's say after inauguration, from inauguration day, the first week, second week, third week, Mr. Comey has started talking. You know what they will say? The whole Liberia will go, wow, oh, the mayor, he lost election, he's so desperate, this and that. He can't even get a government chance to sit down. The mayor remain quiet. Number one, you Jeremy Mipia, you working for government to make living. You are in America, you're pushing cartoon, because all we that are abroad, whatever job we're doing, they say that cartoon we're pushing. You're in America, you're pushing cartoon. They call you back to go get job. So you're working for government. Mr. Cummings ran for election, he did not win. He's not working for anybody. He's making his business. So the man will prioritize his family, his businesses, and pay attention. He ran, he lost. He was not the only person that lost in the election. So what? And you expect him to come right after inauguration or right after you won, he should start talking what you will say because he's desperate. That's why. So the man is not looking for money in government to go live. Make our own thing. Okay? So, and you don't have his plan. You don't decide when he talks or what he does. So I was so mad yesterday. I made a video. I want to see. I told him, if you know Limepia, gave him the video. And for me, I got nothing to lose. Number one, I don't work for government, Liberian government. I work for the Norwegian government here. Okay. Number two, nobody can take job from me. Number three, the stupid thing they can say, oh, when you talk, they say, oh, because coming giving your money. Paul, you know, I met coming one time in Germany. That was 2021 or 2020 when we invited him. Okay. How much I spent on a 6-day trip from Norway to Germany, driving 18 hours one way, 18 hours back, sleeping in hotel and things. I spent more than 3,000, almost 4,000 US dollars, fuel, everything. So Mr. Comey gave me the money down. I spent it to go see him. And we support ANC. But they don't understand. So for a male Jeremy Pia, who today, if Unity Bwaka will now win, or he will not run the next election, he doesn't have a future. He doesn't even know whether you still have a job. Who should, if I were him, he should be stealing enough money. I told him yesterday in my video, I said, steal your own money and keep it. Because that's why you end up going back to America. Because the next government that will not work in it. You have made this country so bad that you're taking people from tenure position. You're taking people from their offices and forcing them out. So everybody know that the next government will do the same thing to you. And you should not pray for CDC to come back, because they will sweep all of you. Even the sweeper, they will sweep all of you from office. So you should be keeping your money. If you're stealing, steal it and keep it and get ready to go back to America, instead of trying to put your mouth on there, the comments who, whether he works in government, you're not working in government, God bless him already. But anyway, I think Mr. Comey know how to fight his own war. So I'm not going to fight his process war. But as a man who's supporting, if anybody gets on my nerve, I also have the right to come in defense. And that's what I did. And I did it properly yesterday. And I promised him, if I hear anything again, I promise you one thing I said. I told him, I will come for you real good. That even if you dress, you walking, but you'll be naked, I'll come for you. I told him yesterday, I said it, and I will say it anytime. Because, you know, this is becoming a norm in Liberia, where people will just look at people and talk to them any kind of way. Disrespect. Okay? And it goes to everybody. Nobody wants to disrespect President Bwaka. Nobody wants to disrespect former President George Weah, and all other prominent, even the lawmakers that are doing this thing. Nobody should disrespect them. Okay? But because it's becoming a norm that one Tom, Dick, and Harry can just get and talk anything they want, and to you as information minister, you should be the last to utter those kind of word. It can be any Joe Blow in the street saying that, nobody will want to call him. But you, when you speak, the government speaks. So is that the way the government will react to other politicians? Then you have other people coming after you. Paul?
So, Linford,
yeah,
the situation in Liberia.
I normally don't do that. I normally don't do
you
that.
See,
the
fear here, the fear for those people. As Joe Bwaka is the president of Liberia, internationally, he and Comey cannot even be on the same table. It's not there. They know. That's the fact. And our Liberian people, president of Liberia, the two people, they're not on the same level. And the United Party knows that. They're not on the same level. God bless me. I want money, but because I'm from Liberia, I want to see my country to do good. They'll say, no, we want the man who embarrassed all the chief of staff, the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of the Republic of Liberia cannot even walk to inspect his troop. This is the embarrassment that we brought upon ourselves. The president said you have to be fit. You have to be fit. Man Dawo, Ellie, at the same age Joseph Bwaka claimed, Ellie at that age she was inspecting the troop. This man just turned 80. He cannot even. That's the embarrassment it brought to us. So somebody like coming saying something, it actually pricking them. And the reality is they will have to live with it. And who people that in the background that desperate want to be president, Mr. Cummings around, not coming up with this thing, he's a thorn in the flesh to them. I'm being honest, he's a complete thorn in the flesh to them. So they will have to read, he will talk. He's the kind of person that will not be the Yeke Kodoba to say this, but he will say in a way that people will see logic. You remember he used a parable, say, look, we're in a village. They get the oldest man in the village, the young people around. Then you take the only callers in the village and give it to the oldest man. You think that the village people will eat? And this is what Liberian voted for. The oldest man in the town, you get him called to brush. He can't brush. That's why he could not inspect the armed forces, his own people that he lead to go and salute them. He could not do it. That's the callers that Liberian people are giving the old man. This is the fact. And the old man will run 2029.
No,
he will be
not.
there, Paul Biya.
Trust me, he will not.
He will run. So
he will not.
The fact is the fact.
Let me give you a clue. Let me give you a clue.
They took the old callers and give it to this man.
Yeah, let me give you a clue. The woman will not run. You know why he will not run? He will not run. That's why he muddied in the water. You know, and this is where the Nimba County people or Jeremiah Kun does not understand. This is why he doesn't understand. No, Omen Chobwaka cares only for himself. You can build it, Omen, or you can raise him. The ring coming, you can cover him, you and him walk. If the umbrella put over him, by the time he reaches into the destination, he will spoil an umbrella for you to return. Let's say you are crossing him in a canoe, right? You put in the canoe, you're cross. By the time you're cross, when you get in the canoe to come, he will turn the canoe outside and cast out with you. The man did it to Henry Costa, who saw it. He did it to so many people who saw it. Okay? He always playing the victim. He always want people to be the one to go back, you know, to feel sorry for him. He did it in the CPP. The CPP gave life to, in fact, let's go back to before he became vice president. After the dual error and all these things, we got to the government until he worked. So the old man was nobody. The old man, the story goes that he was sitting on checkup board when Eddie thought about him to make him VP. When they called him, he was sweating. He asked, where can I go? The West said, yeah, Jeff will try to. How he came to Ellen explained to him, they say, almost fainted. Because he couldn't believe that coming from where he was now, in that kind of desperate condition, going to be vice president. And what happened between him and Ellen Johnson? Sally, what did he say about Ellen after elections? I mean, after that government went out of power, he started bad morphing Ellen. That all the bad things that happened in the Unity Party government at that time, he knew about it. But when anything could come, he would take the glory. The old man is a very, very, you know, I don't want to use the word, but it's a very, very bad old man. But people not understanding. So Jeremiah Kun is thinking that, oh, you know, I'll be, if the old man, if God will bless him, for the old man to continue and end his term, and the old man will give him the go ahead to go and run on UP ticket to be vice president, to be president, the law. The old man will do everything possible. Paul, he will damage the UP, he will damage their way. He will continue going badly until time will come. Hey man, after 1 year, if Liberian people can start praising Joshua, after I said only 1 year, tell me something. No. What will happen in the second year, the third year, the fourth year? You know, you're not running, so you're
you know why I say you know why I say the old man will run?
He will not run.
Do you know why I say the old man will run?
Why?
In the cabinet that he have, this man get the 50, the over their Lofian. I mean, I think about the 1980 here, when they took over, when all the ministry have crown people, although not everybody enjoy, but this is our time that we cannot leave the thing. They will encourage the old man, whether he in wheelchair, that he must contest. I'm being honest. The people were pushing.
That's when
if you leave, we'll stop stealing. So they will keep it there. Whether he in
the Unity Party. That would be the end of the Unity Party. Hey man, but Paul, you are out here, man. If the people can vote Joshua off, tell me, man, if people can vote Joshua off, that man, let him pray, let him stay alive until 2029 and try to say running. Unity Party will go back to zero.
I think the old man will contest 2029.
No, I mean he can contest, but what will happen to Unity
Party? You'll contest 2029. Yeah.
He can run, but
they were pushing. They were pushing. And look what happened. The man cannot walk to inspect the army. They put him in the back of the pickup. They put say, oh, no, it happened in Belgium, it happened in other places in the world. But then they're not considering that the army in China, when they out, there are millions of people. So that's spontaneous for one person to walk between them, like you cover 3 football pitch. So you get 500 people around, he cannot even walk around. It tells you something. They may not be in wheelchair, they will carry him for presidency. Trust me. I'm telling you.
Okay. What they should consider? Few things they should consider. Number one, the Liberian people have already lost confidence in the government in the first year. They cannot, and let me tell you, when the chicken white, they not white, you put pin on the side, that black chicken, pin the white, with pin, white pin, it will still show black. Okay? So the government can't do nothing. And Joe Walker does not have that capability. Number one, the men are young, like you say, he's old. Okay? So he's not thinking. He's not strategizing. People tell him what to do. Look at the man go to program. They gave him the podium time for him to speak. Get start going home. The man had to hold him. The political had to tap him on the bicycle. Oh, when this so before he came, then he walk. Oh, he came and get a job. He can't even move now. I'm sorry that old age we all get old. But I'm telling you, the woman will do everything possible. They are already doing it. They will spoil the whole UP party, will spoil the government. That even if they care Joe Walker to run, they will beat them flat. We will come back to number one to 1%. Okay? Trust me. If the program for George we are all that dead UP party that were dead already, let me tell you, we have a good that pregnancy again, it will come out, we'll reach there, we'll see it. And they say the Christmas will be good, you can tell from the Eve. We're going the first year, okay, while the other people raising their chicken for their Christmas, I don't know chicken
before
now.
we close, you're talking.
Mm-hmm.
So, Linford, before we close, our close cover down from the Ellen Johnson cycle said something to me in Morovia. And the reason why that Ellen didn't vow for this man to be president, in her conversation with the person, a group of people, but I won't call the name, Ellen said Joseph Newman Burker is lazy. He's a lazy worker. And she could not see him running the country. That's why she didn't support him. He's very lazy. It just speaks volume. So the leadership, you're talking about the CPP. He showed us in the CPP what he's capable of doing. And Liberian saw that, they said, oh, he still get experience. So they will carry the thing with them. Now he get presidential experience. He was vice president, he have vice president experience. So you'll be in wheelchair.
I think you and myself will go back to our argument again. Well, we can always argue, we can always disagree. But I am telling you, Linford, I'm telling you that Joe Walker is not going to run 2029. Trust me. Few reasons. The government would have been very bad, unpopular, number one. And number two, you will make the water muddy for Jeremiah when you go. Nobody even look at him. Hey, man, the program, George Weah, man, look at me. And the people, like people can vote George Weah all. After one thing, that Joe Walker, whose government have failed in the first year, they will carry, they will carry him. Everybody going in the market, they carry their pig. Yeah, you will carry your pig, but they will buy it. That's the question. You will carry your pig. Nobody will start you. Your pig dry their hair.
Linford, mark my word. You see why he brought Henry Costa back?
Because that guy interest.
I just gave you the picture here.
Yeah, but Costa go money business, so you want nobody to say anything on him.
No, the only thing I will agree. Yeah. So what I will say to you here, it will be an interesting fight because I've been observing something. I may be wrong. You see, there's young. I follow him religiously. I've been observing him.
Repeat again. Your internet was bad.
Lately, he been promoting Jeremiah. One time I watched his program. I said the convicted criminal Waterspoon. I've been observing him religiously, been following him. Lately, he been promoting Jeremiah Cohn. And what I pick up, one day, there was some issue going out, and he called Jeremiah Cohn in the middle of the night. I think this guy was in bed. He woke up, but since then, every time Jeremiah Cohn, something good is Jeremiah Cohn. So you see, the gold decoy you talking about Costa, that came to promote the old man. Between those two, there will be one promoting Jeremiah Cohn and the other one promoting the old man. That will be the internal fight. And based on our internal fight, I will agree with you that he may not contest. But the other convicted criminal, he is in the pocket of Jeremiah Cohn. From my own observation, from what I'm seeing. And the surrounding, it just tells you, oh, Jeremiah Cohn call, electricity crash, he don't make any change. But now, he promoting a guy that he's some kind of good pricing. So I just see these are the people that in the public space that use their platform to fool other people. And he started with Jeremiah Cohn. So it's my thing, man.
Yeah, it's a lot of possibilities. Between now and 2029, there's a lot of things that will happen. We're talking about 5 years time, so plenty to happen. Some people will be born, some people will die. So plenty to happen. But let me tell you one thing. Just to close on this one. Yes, I could also agree with you that the old member want to run in 2029, but like again, the example I gave you, everybody going to set up peak. There's some people peak fat like hell, then you're gonna peak dry, all the bone showing it dirty. Yeah, nobody will stop you from carrying your peak, but whether to buy that. So he can run 2029, but whether he will win is another thing. Well, I think Paul's internet is really active now, and it's just about time that we'll be leaving. So for those of you following us, your internet is acting up, and it's time for us to be taking our exit now. But for those of you that follow us today, we want to say thank you very much. We saw some new. I saw some new names here that I've not seen before. Of course, I mean Pataki was here, but I saw Philip Kate. I think Philip have been following a little bit, and Dave Wilson. I don't know which Dave Wilson is this. Tumo Boniface was here also. So we want to say thank you very much for watching us. Next time we'll be here will be Tuesday. I don't know what day will be Tuesday. Today is the 14th, Saturday 15, Sunday 16, Monday 17, Tuesday the 18th. We'll be here on the 18th of February. And we'll be bringing you another edition of the Bottom Line Library. I want to say thank you very much and very beautiful Valentine's Day to all of our beautiful women out there, our mothers, our sisters, and our girlfriends. I let them know for trouble sometimes. Paul, what is your closing? And then we can get out. Oh, Pataki stay there. Yeah, give your closing point and then we can go.
To everyone, including our I say happy Valentine's Day to our viewers, our spouses, our friends, our sisters, our brothers. They call it Love Day. Wherever you are, enjoy your day. It was good program we had. The discussion was fruitful, and in summary, what is happening in what is happening in the Eastern Europe, I think Ukraine And Russia's situation, Russia have become the victorious here because Donald Trump with the language that the territory that Ukraine has given up, they're not going to get it back. So it's a done deal. The war will stop. Ukraine not going to get that part of that Russia took from them. They're not going to get it back. With the situation with more stability and the minority bloc, it's a very good decision that it took. Now to go sit under the gabble of how do you call it, Richard Cohen. They should stick together until the situation and in Liberia, until we find leadership that will come and say, look, enough is enough. Let's put our house together. Maybe Joseph Newman Burka, somebody need to talk to him because he has not shown leadership, and I doubt he will ever show leadership. So on that note, guys, the program will all
Okay. So we want to say happy thank you, not happy thank you, happy Valentine's Day once again, and then we want to say thank you to all of you for being with us. Our sister Mona Klipa, she's always, of course, with us, and Pataki, man, you're part of the show already. All you need to do, you need to come on. Like I said, we'll be here on Tuesday, and we hope that good things will happen between now and Tuesday. But what good can come from from where? So let's leave you with something. I don't know whether there's anything here. Let me. Paul, you got anything to take us home? Okay, I think let me just put this one in.
You see, unnecessarily sleepy on duty. While patients are crying, they having conversation. While patients are dying, they busy chatting on Facebook. Anything you do in this world, you will get your reward.
yeah.
Boy.
If we're pregnant, speak up.
Sexy. Only records, Now you better lick on out there what you want you to don't can show yourself. Got plenty dancing as you dancing, you get copy. I say don't can show yourself. You using Chani, Mr. Chani, I say don't can show yourself. You say you young boy, your sling on a papa boy, I say don't can show yourself. You get money, you want eat shawarma, eat some pizza, don't can show yourself. I using sense on you, using sense on your own Chani, don't can show yourself. Your Nina Kebe, you go or you say your Nina Sarah, don't can show yourself. That's who me bluffing, are you bluffing? You get nothing, I say don't can show yourself.